to Broadstairs Life. Right, welcome to Broadstairs Life. Today I'm sitting here with Sue and we're going to talk about the St Peter's Village Tour, but I think what would be nice if you could introduce yourself.
Okay, well thank you, Barry. I lived in Broadstairs for just over 40 years now. I am a DFL, down from London, but I consider myself a native Bradstowian, I think the term would be, and I've worked on the village tour for just about 10 years. The first year I retired, Brian Slightholme, approached me to work on the tour, and I declined because I was having a year off. But he wouldn't let me escape because Brian was like that. And he recruited me the next year, and I was a tour guide, and latterly I've been a tour manager, and I've also very occasionally acted in one of the scenes. So that's my connection with the tour. Okay,
and what about your connection with Broadstairs? Obviously you said you're a DFL. For people that don't know, that's a down from London.
Down from London,
so that makes two of us.
Yes.
So what else is your connection with Broadstairs?
My connection really was that once upon a time we'd been here on holiday when I was a little girl, and it just kind of stayed in our minds. And when we were looking for a house outside London for several reasons, one of which was health related. My son had very bad asthma, so we wanted somewhere with good fresh air, as it were. We bethought ourselves of Broadstairs. And the house that we're sitting in, talking in now, was the very first house we looked at. And we spent a whole week looking for houses, but we came back and this place was very neglected. But we decided that it's right in the middle of Broadstairs, and that's where we wanted to be. So we bought it. And I was only going to stay a few years, but here I am, 40 odd years
40 years later, yeah.
Yep. And Broadstairs itself is a beautiful place to live.
Yeah, I totally agree.
Lovely beach, nice people, interesting things to do, one of which is the village tour.
The village tour.
Which has been running, it's in its 33rd year. And I must pay tribute here to Brian Slightholme, our life president, who thought up the whole tour and started it, could do this. We've all got a history. What really focused the history in St Peter's is the church. It's literally in the centre of St Peter's. It has existed for over 900 years. It was built around 1071. And Brian was a keen member of the church and was anxious, really, I think, to share its beauties and its history with as many people as possible. And that really was the starting point, I would say. But as he and others investigated more, there is an awful lot of history. There are famous people who have lived here and died here, visited here. You know, as a watering place, as they called it, it was a popular place to be. And with the coming of the railways, of course, we got more and more visitors. But for a very long time, Broadstairs has been somewhere that people like to go. Yeah. And when they're here, they like to have things to do. And the village tour is something that people can look at. I have known people on the tour nearly all say they had no idea there was this much history in a village. I've had people on my tour who have come down because their roots, their family history started around here. They'd come to look at a family grave or something like that. And I had one party where two people had separately come, didn't know each other, looking at family history, and it turned out they were cousins.
Really?
And they started up a friendship which continued because they met on the village tour.
Yeah. The base, how it runs is really interesting, isn't it?
It is, yes. It's all voluntary. Nobody gets paid for what they do, and we have about 120, I think it is, people who are involved in the tour. And there's everything from behind the scenes, publicity and health and safety and catering. We offer light refreshments on the tour.
Of course.
And costumes, scripts, We have to have actors, we have to rehearse, we have to be aware of all the events that are happening in the town so that when we are guiding people, we're not getting in anybody else's way, things like that. And so there's a lot to contend with, but we all do it because we like it.
And the other thing is the tour starts at the church.
It does.
And it finishes at the church.
It certainly does. It couldn't exist without the church. And one of the things that I really like about the tour is it's not about money. We're not interested in raising funds, and we ask for a donation, but the tour is free. If you come and you don't have money to donate to us, that's not a problem. You can just come on the tour. And the church do not charge us. You cannot rent a church.
No.
And what we do, though, is if we make a surplus and if the weather is good and the crowd's numbers are good, we generally do, then we do donate it to the church, because we couldn't really do it without that space to start with.
So when somebody... I don't want us to give away what happens on the tour.
Oh, definitely not.
Because there's
there's a few surprises on the way.
There's a few surprises. But it's about a 2-hour tour, would that be correct?
Yes. I always say to my parties when I'm a tour guide, it's not a long walk, but it is a long stand. Because there are not many seats on the route.
No.
So I always say to them, if there is a seat and you see one, sit on it. And in certain areas where we're acting some of the scenes, we can seat a few people, but that is one of the things. But it is wheelchair friendly, I would say.
Yeah.
It's mostly level. There's very, very few steps. Yeah. And also we allow well-behaved dogs can come.
But we welcome dogs in Broadstairs everywhere, don't we?
Pretty much, yes, we do. Yeah. And so I think that it's a very inclusive place. The vicar of the church, Matt, he's great like that. He allows people to bring their dogs to church for the services.
Oh, really?
Yes. And
wow.
We have several dogs that are regular attenders now.
Yeah.
And I think that's great.
Yeah.
Everybody is welcome, and he finds that very important. And on the village tour, it's part of being welcoming to the village. We have many people involved in it, and most of us have done quite long service. As I say, there are one or two that go back to the beginning, which is, as I say, we're in our 33rd year now.
And the other thing is, on the tour itself, they will meet many characters.
Mm-hmm. Good and bad.
Good and bad.
Yes,
and
you
there are some bad.
Some, yes.
Just a few.
Yes.
But overall, it's a colourful tour, isn't it?
It is. It's
engaging.
Yes, it's not meant to be sort of prim and proper thing. It's not meant to be that. No. It's meant to be what people are like. And people are funny, friendly, hostile, not always honest. All of those things. Yeah. And also there's quite a lot of social history involved, which would be found almost anywhere. For example, with the Victorian schoolmistress or the workhouse scenes. Those were things that happened in other places too. But for example, when we do school tours, which occasionally we do, where we just have children, they're always very intrigued by the Victorian school mum threatening to cane them and things like that. Things that
making them do lines.
No.
Yeah.
When I'd said that my brother had been caned daily at school because at that time dyslexia was unknown and he couldn't read and write very well, and his teacher thought he was playing about, so he used to cane him every day. It never improved his reading and writing. They couldn't believe it. They thought I was as old as the Victorian schoolmistress.
And the other thing is, you've got how many scenarios or scenes are they?
Oh, about 10 or 12. Yeah. We mix it up a little bit. Sometimes the weather affects it, but one of the big pluses of the tour is that we never cancel. We're like the windmill, we never close.
Of course.
If it rains, we do it. The actors come to the church, and our our parties are seated inside the church undercover, and we will enact the whole tour in front of them, so they won't miss out. So that's a very good thing, that nobody has to be disappointed. It is better to be able to walk around, because then you're in the part of the village where these things actually happened, and it makes it more real.
Because
more
St
vivid.
Peter's, like you were saying, Sue, has got so much history.
Yes.
And when I moved here, and we live in St Peter's, we went on the tour.
Oh, did you? Yes.
It was one of the first things we did. And we came away going, I didn't know that.
I didn't know that. No.
And now the tour seems to have grown.
Yes. Yeah. It has constantly upgraded over the years. And we have added scenes, and sometimes we've taken them away because we felt that the mood had changed, and we wanted to stress something else. But the basics do stay in place. The scenes enacted on the village green are a constant.
Yeah.
The talks in the churchyard are a constant, and the scenes inside the church itself, the workhouse, all of those things feature pretty much every time.
I must admit, I like the workhouse.
Do you? Yes.
I like the workhouse.
It's a beautiful building.
It's a beautiful building, but I just love
the
the
whole
scenario
idea.
that develops there. Now, the other thing is, it's won an award, hasn't it?
Yes.
Could you talk about the award?
Yes, it won the Queen's Award for Voluntary Service, which is like a collective MBE. And we have a citation signed by the late Queen Elizabeth in our own hand, and a glass trophy, as it were, which we do display at every tour. And Brian himself received the British Empire Medal for his work in developing tourism in this area, yes. And he would wear his medal with pride.
I don't blame you.
Yes, but
I don't blame you.
It isn't really for that we do it.
No.
We are happy. It's a very nice social thing to belong to. You know, we have events. I've just played in a quiz last week.
Did you win?
I was second. My
That's
team
all right.
was second. We lost by 1 point.
That's good.
And we have a lunch. We have a summer event of some kind. So lots of people who are involved in the tour, like myself. I live by myself. It's nice to do something with a lot of people.
I must admit, well, as you know, I became a guide last year, and I love it.
Yes, good.
Because you meet people from across the world.
Yes.
And you really...
you do.
And they're really engaged, aren't they?
Yes. Well, you know that we often mention the Mockets, the family that owned half of St Peter's, I should think, were very generous benefactors. They gave a lot of land for the churchyard, which now makes it the longest one, reputedly, in England.
Yeah.
And one of Brian's favourite sayings was that you could pick up the Houses of Parliament and put them down inside the churchyard and still have room to walk round the edge. That's what he told me. And the Mockets Wood, that still exists, their name is still known in this area, and we have had visitors. There aren't any Mocket family living now in the village, but we have had visitors from Australia who are a branch of that family, who were very impressed to find that their name was so prominent and still remembered.
But not all of the history is old, is it?
No, it isn't.
There is a certain segment which is quite moving.
You refer to the airplane?
The aeroplane crash.
Yes.
And that is something that happened not recently.
No, but 50s, is it?
But within the decades of people
within living
who can
memory.
remember, in living memory.
I have had somebody on my tour who had been living in the village as a child when that happened. He said he was about 6. And he remembered it. He said, I remember it with pleasure because my school was shut for a week and we couldn't go to school. So I just knew I had a week off school.
That's kids.
And he remembered it with pleasure. He said, I didn't understand people had died.
What would you say to anybody who's listening to encourage them to come along and visit the tour?
I'd say, give us a whirl. Come along and see what you think of it. You don't have to go with the idea of, I would like to do this, but come and see what we do, and then you will see that when someone is interested in an area, they can find out things and share it with people, and it's very vivid because you're standing in those places where those people were.
Exactly.
And I think most people enjoy it for that reason, that it makes what can be quite remote history very real and immediate.
And we also have the fact that we've got the actors who form an important part of the tour.
Oh, vital.
Yeah, because they bring it to life, don't they?
They do, yes. And we have some very good and experienced actors now, and the costumes are as accurate and historically viable as can be possible. And we take a lot of trouble over that. And the script also, if we make a mention of an event or a fact, then it has to be true and verified.
Yeah.
And you know, we try to keep it like that, keep it real, as they would say.
Of course.
And yes, the actors, well, but we're all important in the tour, in as much as there'd be no tour without guides, there'd be no tour without actors.
And the other thing is, being a guide, you bring your own...
You do, yes. Your own take on it.
Your own take on
Everybody does it differently.
Yeah.
Everybody stresses different aspects. I'm always intrigued by, you know, people like Miss Raven. Now, that is a character that really wouldn't have any fame anywhere, and yet she has an interesting story to tell us. And her father, Doctor, was a great presence in the village and was important in the work that went on. And I like to hear and see things like that. The lady who portrays her, I know her quite well, and I think she's a very good actress.
Yeah, no, I think they all are. I mean, you know, you just watch these people, and once they start, you see people's faces are totally engaged.
Yes,
and they're just taking everything in. And the nice thing is, you get lots of questions.
Yes, people are quite stirred by it, I think, sometimes, and you know, that is a very nice part of doing the tour, is at the end the guide has the opportunity to you know, tell them a little bit about the number of volunteers involved and about our award from the Queen and everything, and then we sort of say, well, thank you for coming, and they say, oh no, thank you, we've really enjoyed it,
which is a lovely
and
thing,
I think
isn't it?
that yes, you've come away feeling quite good about yourself. Because you've spent a couple of hours. The one tour that sticks in my mind was an afternoon where I had listened to the radio in the car on the way up, and they were talking about the Queen, the late Queen, saying there was going to be bulletins issued later, and you kind of knew then. And I said to those people on that day, I was tour manager that day, I said, you're always going to remember what you did today, because this is the day.
And you were on the tour.
And we were on the tour, yes.
Which has a link to the Queen.
Absolutely,
So the tour runs...
sort of mid-May to early September. And it's mostly on a Thursday. We do the occasional Saturday or the occasional Tuesday. We do school tours. We do one tour specifically for people who have mobility difficulties, and we would do that inside the church so they can be seated.
And if people want to book?
Yes, there's a website that you can make the booking. It is really recommended that you do book, because if the guides are limited to the numbers that they can take each of us, so you know, 10 is about the maximum that each one of us can do. There'll be 5 guides on duty at a village tour afternoon, so up to 50 people. But in the height of the summer holidays, sometimes you do get more than that. And if we can, we'll run an extra, get somebody in, ring them up and say, come and be a guide.
The other thing is, you've got a new patron, haven't you?
Yes.
Quite a flamboyant patron, I can say.
What, Mr. Brandreth?
Mr. Brandreth, Giles Brandreth.
Yes, I was one of his 2 guides.
Oh, really?
Yes, when he came on the tour, and what a delightful person he was.
But he has a link to Broadstairs.
He does, yes, and he and his wife and his sister and her husband came. And we gave them a tour on their own, and myself and another girl, Pam, were his guides. And I can tell you that whatever else one could say about Mr. Brandreth, he has the most delightful of manners. He listened with very great keenness to every scene, and before he took photographs he asked every single one of them if it was all right,
Really?
that he could take the pictures, and he had chats with them afterwards. And he was a really lovely visitor to take round the village. And I found I had a link with him. I was talking to his wife while one of the scenes had just finished, and she mentioned, I think it was quite near their wedding anniversary, and she said that they got married on the 8th of June 1973, and I said, yes, that was a Friday, wasn't it? And she said, how do you know that? I said, because I was having a baby that day.
I think you'd remember that.
I remembered that.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, no. But like I say, the village tour is, I think it's quite an integral part of St Peter's.
Well, I hope so.
And Broadstairs.
Yes. I think it is quite popular in the village. As I say, well, judging by the numbers of people who are prepared to be involved in it and who allow their premises to be used for it, shall we say. And in particular, I think the church values it, because it is a means of introducing people to that building and making sure that they know that it's open and available for them.
Yeah, very much.
Which is a good thing.
And what's nice as well is it is a wonderful group of people that run the village tour.
I think so, yes, I do.
And everybody's dedicated to doing it.
Well, none of us are made to do it.
No.
We're all doing it because we want to,
Exactly.
and that is the best possible reason for doing anything.
Yeah.
Is because you enjoy it. Because if you enjoy it, then that comes through with
Very
what
true.
people do. Even down to the ladies that make the tea.
Yeah. And the biscuits.
And the biscuits.
Mustn't forget the biscuits.
Oh, yes. Yes. That's a lovely idea. And when you go to an event for the people that work on the tour, like, say, the Christmas lunch or something, then you become aware of the amount of friendship and camaraderie that there is.
And the other thing is the age range of the people involved.
Mm-hmm.
It stretches, doesn't it? It's
Yes.
from some quite young people.
Yes.
And then it goes up to the mature people and it's a lovely
Yes.
spread of people.
I would say that the retired age group is to the fore, shall we say, because we do have the time to do it.
Exactly.
But having said that, we're very keen if we can recruit younger people that have got the time to do it. And in a sense, we have to make it clear that you're not expected to do it every week. It's not something that will take over your summer, for example. I've just done it. We all are asked to send in the dates that we can work.
Yeah.
And there are enough of us to share it around.
Yeah, very much.
And once or twice, sometimes, someone's ill or something, they ring up and say, can you come? But otherwise...
So if you was to finish off, and I was coming to Broadstairs, what would you say to me?
Well, I would say you're very lucky to be coming here, and we're very lucky to be living here, and we want to show you our lovely home. So come to the village tour in St Peter's, and we will make you welcome.
That's lovely. Well, listen, Sue, fascinating. Thank you so much.
I've enjoyed our talk, Barry. Thank you.
See you on a tour in the future.
Absolutely, yes.
You take care.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Thank you for listening to Broadstairs Life. You can follow us on Facebook and various other social media platforms, including YouTube. Thank you for listening.